What exactly happens when you hit 60 that suddenly makes carrying a bag of groceries feel like a literal Olympic sport? I actually started feeling that terrifying slip of independence a few years back. I honestly thought my best days were just behind me. But what I discovered hiding right there in the regular canned food aisle completely blew my mind. In this explainer, I'm sharing my personal story and the hidden grocery secrets that literally rebuild muscle using simple, ready-to-eat foods. But listen, stick around because I'm keeping the absolute best, number one 10-cent solution completely under wraps until the very end, and it is going to completely flip how you shop. Okay, let's dive right into this. What if everything you've been told about muscle loss after 60 is just completely bogus? I mean, seriously, I remember standing in my hallway one afternoon, feeling my legs literally shaking after bringing in just one heavy package. The fear of losing my independence, the fear that one day a simple, stupid fall could change my entire life forever. It was incredibly real. We're constantly told to just buy expensive powders, eat dozens of eggs, and accept the decline. But discovering the real solution isn't about visiting some expensive specialty health store. It's sitting right there in the regular canned food aisle. 30%. Just let that sink in for a second. That is how much muscle mass we can lose by the time we hit 80 if we do absolutely nothing to stop it. When I stumbled onto that clinical reality, it hit me like a ton of bricks. That 30% isn't just about looking a little weaker in the mirror, right? It's the literal difference between catching your balance or taking a devastating fall. It is the root cause of frailty, and it's exactly what we need to start reversing today. So, why does this even happen? It really boils down to two big medical hurdles: sarcopenia and anabolic resistance. Let's break those down into plain English. Sarcopenia is just the age-related loss of muscle mass. But anabolic resistance, man, that is the real kicker. It basically means our aging muscles stubbornly refuse to respond to protein the way they did when we were 30. You can't just down a massive steak and expect your muscles to instantly grow anymore. They need a very specific, targeted nutritional signal to wake up and start rebuilding tissue instead of breaking it down. And look, here is the trap I fell into early on, and honestly, maybe you have too. Highly processed protein powders versus whole canned proteins. The fitness and supplement industry pushes these huge, expensive tubs of powder incredibly hard. I tried them, and they just caused my older gut to bloat and cramp up. It was awful. They're usually loaded with artificial sweeteners and isolated proteins that completely lack the natural cofactors your body actually needs to absorb the nutrients. Whole canned proteins, on the other hand, they deliver real recognizable food that our aging digestive systems can actually handle and use. Which brings us to the myth of the perfect egg. For decades, we've all been told to chug raw eggs like Rocky to stay strong. But here's the straight truth I had to face. Traditional staples like eggs might actually fail an older digestive system. Research indicates that as we age, we absorb egg protein way less effectively, leaving our muscles totally famished. Add to that the fact that excessive eggs can introduce cholesterol that silently clogs circulation in older adults. We really need protein sources that don't come with all that heavy baggage. So here was my personal aha moment in the clinical research. Older adults need about 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. If you do the math, for a 150-pound guy like me, that is about 68 to 80 grams a day. But here is the secret. You can't just smash all of that protein down at dinner. It doesn't work. You have to break it down into 20 to 30 gram hits per meal to actually flip the switch on muscle protein synthesis. So how do we hit that target? Easily, affordably, and without ever turning on the stove? Okay, here is the first cheap discovery that absolutely changed the game for me. Greek yogurt. It's a total powerhouse and literally the easiest no-cook staple you can keep in your fridge. Just one single cup easily hits that 24-gram protein threshold we just talked about. Boom, you are instantly feeding those hungry muscles. It's super affordable, it takes zero prep time, and because it's fermented, it is incredibly gentle on an older gut while telling your body to start building immediately. And then you've got cottage cheese, the overnight muscle builder. Now, I used to think cottage cheese was just some retro diet food my mom ate back in the 70s, but it is a massive game changer because it's packed with a specific type of protein called casein. Casein digests incredibly slowly. This means when you eat it, it feeds your muscles a steady, continuous stream of amino acids for hours, even while you're fast asleep. It literally works the night shift for you to help overcome that anabolic resistance and rebuild your strength. All right, let's dive right into the actual canned aisle secrets. Sardines, the anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Look, I know, they have a strong flavor. Maybe skip them right before a hot date, but for about $1.25 a can, this is a total secret weapon. A single can packs roughly 23 grams of complete protein, plus vital vitamin D, calcium for your bones, and those crucial omega-3 fatty acids. Those omega-3s are absolute magic. They actively reduce cellular inflammation, which actually makes your aging muscles more sensitive to protein. It creates the perfect environment for your muscles to thrive instead of waste away. Let's look at the actual data-driven truth comparing canned tuna directly against expensive protein powder. Canned tuna is a total heavy hitter here. For just about $1 a can, it delivers 22 grams of highly bioavailable protein. That word bioavailable is absolutely crucial. It means your body can actually easily absorb and use it. In fact, research shows fish protein has an absorption rate above 90%, even for folks over 70. You are getting pure, usable muscle fuel without the insane sticker shock of those giant plastic supplement tubs. So what does this actually look like in the real world? Check out these results from a clinical study on seniors eating high-protein fish like tuna. By getting 25 to 30 grams of complete protein per serving, along with high B12 and niacin for fast recovery, the results were just astounding. These seniors gained an impressive 4.1 pounds of lean muscle mass in just 8 months. That is real functional strength that keeps you out of a wheelchair and walking tall, all from a cheap can of fish. Now, if fish just isn't your thing, let's hit the pantry staples. Lentils, the cellular regenerator. If you buy canned lentils, you don't even have to look at your stove. Just pop the top, give them a quick rinse, and you are literally good to go. You're getting 18 grams of plant-based protein per cup, alongside complex carbs. This gives you a steady, crash-free energy burn. No weird sugar spikes, no sudden midday fatigue, just pure, clean fuel that helps regenerate muscle tissue right at the cellular level. All right, we've covered dairy, we did fish, we did lentils, but I promised you the absolute best for last, the ultimate $1 hidden muscle builder. The exact food that Japanese longevity experts and top cardiologists have been quietly recommending for decades, all while the medical sector pushed meds and walkers. It has been hiding in plain sight in your pantry this entire time, and the supplement companies are absolutely praying you never figure it out. Here is the ultimate reveal. Canned beans, the 10-cent miracle. Guys, this completely changed how I eat. For literally pennies a serving, simple canned beans, whether you like black, white, or kidney, provide a massive punch of protein, alongside huge amounts of fiber and potassium. This specific combination stabilizes your blood sugar, balances your electrolytes to prevent that shaky weakness, and literally stops muscle loss dead in its tracks. It is hands down the cheapest, most effective muscle insurance you can possibly buy. The long-term clinical nutrition studies are crystal clear on this. Seniors who ate beans regularly had better muscle mass, greater mobility, and way fewer falls. The real kicker here is why it works so flawlessly. The anti-inflammatory compounds and polyphenols found in beans create the absolute perfect environment for muscle rebuilding. And they do all this without the heaviness, cholesterol, or saturated animal fats that can completely bog down an older digestive system. It's just clean, pure, sustainable strength. So, are you ready to ditch the bogus powders and reclaim your strength straight from the pantry? You do not have to just accept getting weaker as part of getting old, and you certainly don't have to spend your retirement savings on heavily processed supplements. By making these simple, budget-friendly choices, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, canned sardines, tuna, lentils, and the absolute miracle of canned beans, you can take total control of your physique and, most importantly, your independence. Next time you're at the grocery store, skip the supplement aisle and go stock up on real strength. It really makes you wonder, if the cheapest aisle in the entire grocery store holds the secret to aging backward, what other expensive health myths have we been sold? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I'll see you next time.